from the UK, and you probably already know, one of the world's most popular rap artists. It'll be great to see you tonight. This guy's clearly nuts.
He's clearly not. He's clearly thinking for himself and encouraging other people to do the same thing. And I stand by that 100%. That's what Kanye has always stood for. I think people are surprised that he's shifting sides a little bit in terms of the way people view things politically, but ultimately his message isn't telling people who they should vote for or who they should support, what candidate they should go for, but it's basically just telling people, look, think for yourself. You are not owned by any party, any politician. You have the right to think for yourself, not as a monolith. I think that's
well. I mean, we both know you're not allowed to think for yourself. I mean, let's not get crazy here. I wasn't quite sure what he was doing or how far he was willing to go until I read this, and I'm quoting: "Democrats had us voting for Democrats with food stamps for years, guns in the 80s, taking fathers out of the home, Plan B, lowering our votes, making us abort our children."
Heavy stuff.
Yeah, heavy. That's exactly right. Heavy.
Yeah.
Once you say that, that's kind of, you've made your break, I think.
Yeah, heavy stuff. I mean, so I'm from the UK.
Yes.
But as someone who's from the UK for well over a decade, since I started thinking about anything politically, I have always looked at the fact that black Americans vote around 90% for the Democratic Party.
Yes.
Which is weird. I mean, any demographic group voting that much in favor of one party sort of raises questions, especially when you've got a lot of cities where that party is in charge and people are not happy with the way things have been going for multiple decades.
Yes, that's right.
And rather than looking at the other side or questioning, there's just this sort of allegiance to it. Now, I myself am not a black American. I don't want to speak for any other people other than myself. But again, I think the core message, both in what I put out there and what I think Kanye West and similar people are putting out there, is not saying, look, you need to become conservative, you must vote Trump, you must vote Republican, anything like that. I think it's just saying, like, look, there are alternate perspectives here. And firstly, it's okay to voice an alternate perspective without being demonized and attacked. I mean, we're seeing what's happening. Lots of the stuff that happened with him in 2018 when he first came out and had some positive things to say about Trump or about conservative values or anything like that. I mean, he got mobbed, and that's because he's such a huge cultural figure, both within and outside of music. So if someone with his gravitas is saying that and then going out there and getting Jesus is King trending on Twitter and becoming the biggest album in the world, that's a threat to a lot of people. It sounds weird and it sounds backwards, but that is genuinely a threat to...
Well, tell me if this has happened to you. I think of course it's a threat. It's also a wonderful opportunity for the rest of us to hear these issues discussed. I mean, there's a narrow range of things that we talk about. It's boring. Yeah. It'd be interesting to talk about whether or not Jesus is king, I think. But no one wants to have those conversations, and so they dismiss him, as you know, and many others. Does that happen to you?
It does. Well, it's attempted. It doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on me. Anyone who would try to cancel me is not part of my true audience anyway, so it's not something that I personally fear. I'm not someone who's shifted much politically over the years. I've just become a little bit more vocal about some of the things I'm saying, because you're seeing all this, just culture's just in a weird place in a lot of ways. So it seems like anyone who goes out there and promotes self-reliance and self-empowerment and self-improvement and isn't just trying to point the fingers outside and blame everybody else or blame other factors, that person's going to get demonized. Anyone who encourages other people to think freely and not just go along with the kind of weird, woke, progressive identity politics games that are being played, especially if you're a minority. It doesn't even matter if you're whether you're black, Asian, Latino. Same thing, I've spoken to people, same thing happens with, say, someone who's gay but doesn't go along with all of the LGBT stuff.
Right.
Those people get demonized because it's almost like you're some kind of apostate or traitor or something like that. So I'm followed by a lot of black and minority conservatives, say in the USA, and they kind of confide in me, like, man, it's tough, right? They get
I can see why. Because if I could just say you're calm, clear, cheerful, that works. People can hear you.
I try.
And you present and you succeed.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.